Diablo is a certified PC classic, but the series' upcoming third installment isn't the only game to boast some demonic blood. A team that includes several of Diablo's creators has lit a new creative fire with Torchlight, a smooth and modern take on the genre that's easy on the eyes, but difficult to put down. The game's formula is simple, but its smart design makes the process of hacking your way through a layer cake of vile creatures and epic loot fun, rewarding, and easy. Torchlight's minimal plot setup wastes no time in introducing you to the dungeon you'll raid. You immediately know that your sole purpose for being is to get down there, kill some monsters, and haul up some awesome loot.
The Ember mines are overrun with these creatures.
There are 35 floors to hack through before you get to the big bad demon at the bottom, minor monsters that repopulate when you've been back to town, and beefier baddies that serve as roadblocks and progress markers every 5 or so floors. There are also random dungeons you can access by jumping through portals, buying special scrolls, or accepting certain side quests in town. And though most of the maps are randomized, interactive elements like moving bridges, shrines, and staircases make the areas feel like more than a haphazard series of rooms and corridors. You'll brave the challenges as one of 3 character types, a burly bruiser, a magic guy, and an agile rogue-type character, each with 3 branches of butt-kicking discipline, where you can spend skill points you earn as you level up. Each ability feels useful, and you're free to mix and match, try on any weapons and armor your stats will permit, and further customize your character with item-enhancing gems and additional spells learned from scrolls. You have to stick with your decisions once you make them, though, as there's no way to try before you buy or reassign points you spend. If you're the extremely competitive or codependent cooperative type, the lack of online play will be disappointing. It would certainly be nice to bring along a friend, but with your mandatory pet, cat, or a dog, the only difference being how they look, you're never completely alone. As it turns out, dungeon crawling makes for a great solitary pursuit. You get to keep all the gold, experience, and awesome weapons you come across, which is really the entire point of the game. It's important to note that the game's difficulty levels will affect the experience. Normal provides you with a smooth difficulty curve, but anyone who knows their way around a dungeon crawler will likely want to start on hard. Actually checking the hardcore box is another issue altogether, since it makes the character death permanent on any difficulty level. This effectively turns Torchlight into a different type of game, but if permadeath is your thing, you're free to choose. Assuming you don't die in hardcore mode, you can essentially play forever thanks to an infinite bonus dungeon. And if you get tired of your current adventurer's incarnation, you can retire your character and pass along a favorite piece of equipment as an heirloom.
Goodbye!
Delving into Torchlight's dungeons is fairly easy. As you crawl through the progressively more difficult floors, you'll acquire progressively better loot and increase your stats and skills. You'll also need to hit the occasional lever, but for the most part, your concern is taking out anything that stands in your way and mitigating what pain comes at you. The controls are straightforward. You simply click on where you want to move or what you want to attack, and right-click to use your main ability. You can make use of the selection of spells and abilities so long as you have enough mana for the job. Of course, you'll have red and blue potions hotkeyed for quick refills. It's repetitive and very mechanical to a certain extent, and beating enemies requires nothing but the most basic of strategies. Keep clicking until they're dead. You'll put much more thought into building your character and buffing up your equipment. There are always decisions to make as to which skills to focus on and which stats to improve. There's no shortage of stat-boosting gems to embellish your gear with, and since your gear gets better as you play, you'll have to choose whether to blow your enchants on what you have or bank them till you get something better. You'll certainly feel yourself growing more powerful as a result of all this. Your pet also adds a lot to the experience. He's nowhere near as powerful as you, but he can easily take on weaker enemies. You can fit a few rings and an amulet on the little guy, feed him fish to transform him into different kinds of beasts, and load him up with spells that he'll automatically put to use. While he helps out in combat, he'll truly earn your love by dragging unwanted loot back to the surface to sell, saving you a trip to town and letting you stick to the business at hand.
Your pet has returned.
That business is, of course, killing everything in sight and collecting all the loot you can lay your hands on. You'll find tons of treasure as you descend, with different attack rates and bonuses, elemental effects, and defensive buffs. If anything, there may be a little too much, since you'll feel compelled to pause after every fight to clean the floor of even the lowest value crap. Levels themselves provide interesting hunting grounds with varied sets of enemies along with plenty of traps and secrets. You may even come across a phase beast every so often, which produces a portal to a dungeon within the dungeon, hiding an excess of gold and goodies. Slaying particularly powerful monsters will net you fame, which provides bonus skill points as you increase your renown. You can always feel yourself moving forward in some way, and that feeling can easily keep you playing the game for hours on end. Torchlight doesn't really assert a unique identity with its caves and tombs stuffed with familiar fantasy foes like giant spiders, skeleton warriors, and man-eating treasure chests. It's still a very appealing game, however, thanks to its slick, stylized cartoon graphics. Each area has its own theme, and there's generally enough visual variety to sustain your interest in seeing what's next. The game also makes good use of sound. Sound effects in particular add a little reality to your every action, whether you're quaffing a potion, firing off a powerful spell, or simply moving items around in your inventory. While it's being sold as a budget title, the presentation offers a functional and appealing package. Torchlight applies a smooth and modern design to a time-tested concept. The result is a successfully crafted and eminently playable dungeon crawler at the attractive price of $20. The one downer is the puzzling lack of online play. If other titles on the market aren't satisfying your urge to level up and amass a towering hoard of loot, there's a lot to be gained from going at it solo in Torchlight's dungeons.